We're going to play like a King of the Hill style game
Okay.
to determine your country GOAT.
My specific country what?
GOAT. It's a King of the Hill style game. I'm going to give you two names, and these are pretty much the best-selling country artists of all time. Alan Jackson or Kenny Chesney?
As the GOAT?
Yeah, as which one you like?
Alan.
Alan Jackson?
I love Kenny, but
Right.
I think Alan Jackson is the GOAT.
Okay.
Alan.
Alan Jackson.
Alan Jackson.
Alan Jackson.
Kenny Chesney.
Alan Jackson.
Kenny Chesney.
Alan Jackson.
I gotta say Kenny. I love a beach vibe.
Alan Jackson and Kenny Chesney. I don't want to piss no one off. Alan Jackson and Kenny Chesney evenly eye to eye.
Well, I got to pick one of them to go against.
I'd go Alan Jackson just because I have a closer relationship to his music.
Alan Jackson or Morgan Wallen?
Alan Jackson. Alan Jackson.
Alan Jackson.
Still Alan Jackson. Morgan maybe in 15 years.
Right.
But as of today, got to be Alan.
Alan Jackson.
Alan Jackson.
Alan.
Morgan Wallen.
Alan Jackson.
Kenny Chesney, Morgan Wallen.
Kenny Chesney.
Kenny.
Kenny Chesney, Reba McEntire.
Reba.
Kenny Chesney. I gotta go Kenny.
Alan Jackson, Reba McEntire.
Alan Jackson.
Alan Jackson.
Reba McEntire.
Alan. Yeah, Alan.
Ooh, Reba.
Reba.
Ooh, Reba.
Reba?
Reba might be the all-time
Okay.
GOAT for me.
Morgan Wallen, Reba McEntire.
Reba McEntire.
Kenny, Reba McEntire.
Now that's hard. I gotta go with Reba. She is an absolute icon.
Yeah.
And through and through.
Reba?
Yeah.
Brad Paisley.
Reba. Reba McEntire. Reba.
Reba McEntire.
Reba.
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 Alan Jackson, Brad Paisley.
Alan.
Okay.
I really like Brad. He can pick guitar like really good. but
Yeah.
Alan.
I'm still gonna stick with Alan.
Alan Jackson. Alan Jackson's literally like both of our like maybe favorite artists ever.
It's going to
yeah.
be a theme. Are we going to run?
It would be really hard to dethrone Alan Jackson. Yeah.
Kenny Chesney or Brad Paisley?
Oh, I love both of them so much. I don't know, Brad. I have to go Kenny.
Reba, Johnny Cash.
Ooh, Johnny Cash.
Alan Jackson, Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash.
Cash.
Kenny or Johnny Cash?
Kenny.
Reba, Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash.
Probably Johnny, because I think he laid the foundation for Reba to be able to do it.
Reba McEntire. Ooh, I might get some hate for that. Reba.
Reba. Girl power. Come on.
I'm going to pick Reba again.
Alan Jackson or Johnny Cash?
Probably Alan Jackson.
Is it just Alan?
Well, yeah. If you keep going, I mean, there might be a couple. I might. Merle Haggard might throw me, or Hank Senior or something.
No.
All right.
Alan Jackson.
Kenny or Dolly Parton?
That's brutal. I mean, my loyalty lies with Kenny, I guess.
Johnny Cash, Dolly Parton.
Johnny Cash.
Cash.
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton.
Golly, dude, this is impossible. Dolly.
Reba McEntire, Dolly Parton.
You can't do me like that.
It gets worse, I promise.
Okay, Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton.
Oh my gosh. You're really making this tough on me. Dolly.
Dolly?
I feel like Dolly, I haven't met her, and I don't get starstruck like ever, but she would be somebody that if I met her, I would probably be a little speechless.
She'd be one to do it.
yeah,
for
100%,
sure.
yeah.
Dolly, Eric Church.
Oh, that's tough. Eric Church. Dolly Parton.
Dolly.
Oh, don't do that to me. Still Dolly.
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 Kenny or Eric Church?
Kenny again.
Johnny Cash, Eric Church.
Johnny Cash.
I'm sorry, Eric, but Cash.
Johnny Cash, Garth Brooks.
Johnny Cash.
Cash.
Eric Church, Garth Brooks.
Eric Church.
Dolly Parton, Garth Brooks.
Dolly Parton.
Kenny or Garth Brooks?
Kenny.
Dolly, Garth Brooks.
Dolly.
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 God bless America. I still am going to say Dolly.
Eric Church, Luke Bryan.
Eric Church.
Cash, Luke Bryan.
Cash.
Sorry, Luke. Johnny Cash.
Kenny or Luke Bryan?
Luke Bryan was my first concert, but I gotta go Kenny.
Dolly Parton, Luke Bryan.
Dolly Parton.
I'm loyal to her, Dolly.
I love it.
Dolly. I love you, Luke, but Dolly.
Dolly.
My guy. Come on. I still gotta say Dolly. Come on, she's an icon.
Eric Church, Shania Twain.
Shania Twain.
Johnny Cash, Shania Twain.
Johnny Cash.
Cash.
Kenny, Shania Twain.
Kenny.
Dolly, Shania Twain.
Shania.
Oh, Shania. Dolly.
I mean, I just feel like Dolly is just Dolly, dude.
Yeah.
You know, Dolly, yeah.
I grew up listening to Shania.
Right.
I mean, she was like a huge influence for me growing up. But I still gotta say Dolly.
Johnny Cash, George Strait.
That's where you get into muddy water, man. Because George Strait is the king of country music. But I think Johnny Cash is my number one guy.
Shania Twain, George Strait.
Shania Twain.
Shania Twain.
Dolly, George Strait.
Dolly.
George Strait. Maybe the GOAT of all GOATs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dolly.
And then we can probably do this pretty quickly. Shania Twain, George Strait.
Shania Twain.
Shania Twain,
Shania
Luke
Twain.
Combs. Shania Twain.
Shania
Stay
Twain.
with Shania. Okay. Jess Boss. Shania Twain is your country GOAT.
No way.
Kenny,
Once
George Strait.
again. Gosh, that's brutal. I don't think I can not say Kenny at this point.
Okay, we're just gonna crown Kenny,
Kenny is
as your
yes,
GOAT.
Kenny's the GOAT.
Cash, George Strait.
I'm a Cash man.
You're
Yeah,
Cash?
Yeah, I do. My mother loved George Strait when we were growing up, but Cash was my thing.
I think we can settle it. Is Cash your favorite of all time?
Out of that list, absolutely.
Okay.
I didn't hear Waylon in there. I didn't hear Merle in there. I didn't hear David Allen Coe in there. Yeah.
Shania Twain, Luke Combs.
Luke Combs.
Johnny Cash, Luke Combs.
Johnny Cash. Sorry, Luke. Love you. Love both you, Lukes.
Shania Twain, Luke Combs.
Shania Twain.
George Strait, Luke Combs.
George Strait.
Dolly, Luke Combs.
Dolly.
We might just come down to Dolly.
Dolly?
Who beats Dolly? Who tops Dolly as the GOAT?
I'll give you just the names quickly.
Okay.
And so we got Chris Stapleton, Kenny
Yep.
Rogers,
Yep.
Thomas Rhett, Carrie Underwood, Jason Aldean, Toby Keith, Tim McGraw.
There's some, woo! How do you choose a GOAT in country music? It's just too much talent. Dolly, we're gonna call Dolly the GOAT.
We're gonna crown
We're gonna call
Dolly.
Dolly.
Luke Combs, Chris Stapleton.
Chris Stapleton. Oh, this is easy now.
Shania Twain, Chris Stapleton.
Chris Stapleton.
Dolly, Chris Stapleton.
Dolly.
George Strait, Chris Stapleton.
I mean, I just want to say this for the camera's sake. I think George is the all-time GOAT, but there is no one, in my opinion, ever better to do it than Chris Stapleton.
Johnny Cash, Chris Stapleton.
It's another close one for me because Stapleton's wrote so many songs that people don't even know that he's written that are hit records, and he's also got tons of hit records of his own. But I got to stick with my guy Cash. He's influenced me so much,
So I think I see.
I think we're going down.
I think
I think-
we
I
don't
think
need
once
to
you
go through
said
the rest of the
Cash,
list.
Once you said Cash, I was like, we're just gonna probably stick with
We're
that
just gonna
the whole
stick
way
there.
down.
Chris Stapleton, Kenny Rogers.
Chris Stapleton. Chris Stapleton.
Like the greatest of all time country artists that I think like right now, not because of what they've said or anything, just because of pure artistry. For me, I'm gonna have to say Chris Stapleton, just because he's a beast. He just gets it, man. And my whole life I've been like, how the heck does that even happen?
Chris Stapleton or Kenny Rogers?
Can we be done?
I
This
got
is
a couple
absolutely
more.
impossible. What were the Kenny Rogers and
Chris Stapleton.
Kenny.
Dolly, Kenny Rogers.
Dolly.
Chris Stapleton, Thomas Rhett.
Chris Stapleton. Chris Stapleton.
Dolly, Thomas Rhett.
Dolly.
Kenny Rogers, and I've been saying for everyone else, Thomas Rhett. But for you, Thomas Rhett, I'll go Rhett Atkins.
Wait, Kenny or Rhett?
Yeah.
Still, my dad would say Kenny Rogers too.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
for sure.
Chris Stapleton, Carrie Underwood.
Chris Stapleton.
That's actually very hard for me. I'm staying strong. Chris Stapleton.
Kenny Rogers, Carrie Underwood.
Kenny Rogers.
Dolly, Carrie Underwood.
Dolly.
Chris Stapleton, Jason Aldean.
Chris Stapleton.
Chris Stapleton.
Kenny Rogers, Jason Aldean.
Kenny Rogers.
Dolly, Jason Aldean, Toby Keith, Tim McGraw.
Dolly.
I love it.
Dolly over everybody.
So, Carly Pearce, your country GOAT is Dolly Parton.
Always.
Chris Stapleton, Toby Keith.
Chris Stapleton.
Chris Stapleton.
Kenny Rogers, Toby Keith.
Again, impossible question, but I think it's hard to answer these questions because some laid foundations,
Right.
and some are reaping the benefits of those foundations. But I still think the Kenny.
And Chris Stapleton, Tim McGraw.
Chris Stapleton.
Chris Stapleton is your country GOAT.
Oh yeah, all the way.
And then last one, Chris Stapleton, Tim McGraw.
Tim McGraw's such an icon. Chris Stapleton.
Chris Stapleton?
I
Okay.
am. Wow.
So Chris Stapleton is your country GOAT.
I think so.
Kenny or Tim McGraw?
Kenny.
Kenny? Okay, so Kenny is your country GOAT.
Oh wow! So that's how you get to this.
That's
Okay,
how we get to
gotcha.
that.
I don't think I would have picked that if you would have asked me.
Right.
But it's that's an interesting game.
So
Yeah.
it makes you choose, right?
It makes you
It's a fun
choose,
way.
yeah.
So, that's all we have for today. But,
Awesome.
Thomas, I know you have an album coming out shortly, so feel free to take the floor and tell the people what's up next for you and where they can find you.
Yeah. My name is Thomas Rhett. Got an album coming out August 23rd called About a Woman, and on tour this year. Make sure you come check us out.
As they say, if you want to make the good Lord laugh, tell them your plans. So I'm not going to tell you too many. But we are going to go home. We're actually about to take a bunch of time off, the rest of this, to work on new music. We're going to write some stuff, record some stuff, and then we head back out on tour in January in the UK, and then we'll be going out. I can't tell you the plans yet for next year, but we will be back out hitting some dates, and hopefully we'll be back up here in your neck of the woods.
We're on the road right now. You can check out the Bad For Me tour on my website, chasebeckham.com. We're going to be on the road with Parker McCollum later this year. We got some more dates with Luke Bryan. We're releasing new music, hopefully, probably later on this year. We still got this new album out, Bad For Me, that we released April 5th. Current single at the radio right now is Everything I Need. And y'all can find it all on Spotify, Apple Music, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you are.
I'm super excited. We just have a few more festivals this summer. It's going to be great. This is our first time main stage at Boots and Hearts, which is also going to be great. We have some Australian tour dates that we're getting set to announce shortly in the next little bit, and new music in the new year.
We're going to be all over the U.S. and we haven't even started booking next year, and I'm hoping to get back up this year, back up here next year. We're less than 30 days out from a brand new record with, I believe, 10 new songs that people haven't heard just yet, and it's been 2 years in the making, and it's high time that it's come, and there's even more around the corner, so yeah, baby.
Yes, so I have a project coming out. The first single off of it is Sending Myself to Church, and so the project will be released at the start of 2025, and I'm super excited about it. It's bringing a little bit more soul to my music, and you can find everything you need to know at taylorrayofficial.com.
Where do I start? I've been in this season of just a lot of writing, working on the next era, and I am so excited to start releasing these songs and take fans on this journey with me. I feel like 20-something taught me so much about myself, and I'm just stepping into that confidence, into that power. And yeah, it's going to be a really fun season. I'm also going on the road with Luke Bryan coming up. I'm on the road with Luke Bryan right now. This fall I'm out with Tyler Hubbard, so come see us on the Strong Tour. We're going to have so much fun. I'm getting to travel the world. Being here is incredible. I love Canada. I love the fan base here. You guys just always come with the best energy. But also, Europe, all over the world, we've been just seeing how fans are finding country music no matter where they live. It's a global thing, and so just touring as much as I can, getting music out there. But yeah, follow your girl, keep up with the journey, and get ready for some new music.
Man, we've got a lot of stuff coming up, a lot of new music, got a lot of things worked up for next year. You guys stay tuned, follow me, follow MuchMusic. We'll see you guys soon. Dylan James, go and check out the River Black EP.
I think the most important thing is I'm going to be coming to Canada on the Hummingbird World Tour. Please go check out carlypearce.com and come see me. I would love to see you there. Just don't say nobody cares at my show.